I mean, I think there's still some cultural attitudes that are slowing us down, and that needs to change quickly. Quickly.
How quickly?
By May.
By May.
By May.
And one of the things I'm looking at is, what nations that are ranked ahead of us have had positives between 2018 and 2021. It's damn interesting to see, like, even at the youth level, we're talking about, like, if I'm ranking top 3 in a weight category, like 2 out of the 3 nations that are above us have had, an ARDV in the last 3 years, 4 years,
And I was chair of the Oversight and Integrity Commission, which hired McLaren. The board had to approve, went through the investigation. It was clear they were finding things covering doping, missing money, unaccounted for money. I became interim president, started pushing hardcore for reform, wasn't accepted by everyone. I kind of have like integrity lines. Felt like we weren't doing the right thing as the IWF, and I finally got to a point where I thought, like, if I stay in, it wasn't reflective of my own values, and certainly as a representative for USA Weightlifting, it wasn't reflective of the values that they hold. And first and foremost, I mean, I'm there first as a representative, a delegate for USA Weightlifting, so that was important to me too. And I think for athletes and others, so I resigned.
Of course, international politics, is the single biggest threat to our athletes. We should be completely fine for Paris, but, you're sitting here at the juniors, you're seeing amazing people. Imagine that through no fault of her own, she may not ever have an opportunity to go to the Olympic Games. International politics and greed and people not caring about the athletes of the world, and certainly if you're taking a stance that isn't centered around helping the athletes of the world, you're a selfish person. So, you shouldn't be in the leadership of sport because that's what you're supposed to be there for.
Coming back in a higher position that I was in before, like more of a leadership position where I have more say, we have a chance to do things right, more things right this time.
And while weightlifting has its certain place in the 2024 Olympics, these athletes do not. Not only do they have to compete against countries which have unfair advantages, but they also must fight against their own. With little time to qualify and a rigorous competition schedule, it'll be harder than ever for these athletes to make it to the Olympics.
So we should make sure that it's impossible for her to beat you. You understand?
To make
And it seems that the sky is truly the limit for you. What are your goals for the upcoming future?
I'm going all in. I'm living where my coach lives now. We sold our house, moved down to where he lives. So I'm going to train as hard as I can for the 2024 Olympics. I guess, like I said, go all in, see what happens.
Over there.
Oh my!
Yes, you're my kind of woman.
Oh my God. I want it to be over.
What?
I want tomorrow to be over.
When are you excited about a weightlifting competition?
I'm usually excited about local meets.
About local meets? Do you think it's just coming back? Like it's my first meet back? Do you feel?
I'm scared I'm not even gonna be able to snatch like 100.
Well, we know that's not true. That's like false. That's a lie.
I snatched heavy 1 week and then bad 1 week, and I snatched heavy last week. So what's gonna happen this week?
Oh my goodness, that's a false pattern. You just made one up. That's like because before that, before that, every week was good. So it was like good, bad, good. So what would be this week? You've already snatched good this week. So you've already been snatching well this week. So you already are snatching well. You did pause 101, double. Something.
That's really good.
Yeah. So you need to try to like keep context about the lies that like your mind will try to play on. Will tell you, right? Keep context. And like, I have the receipts. I know what you've done. So if you're like, I don't think, like, look in your phone.
I do have the receipt.
Yeah, you have the receipts. So tonight, your mission is to do, just scroll back, look at all the good lifts you've hit in the last couple weeks, and think about why you probably shouldn't have hit them, right? Like how stressed you felt about something, or how, like how tired your body was because 2 days before you did the iso back squats and you were like smoked. So just use all those pieces to like tell the correct story.
Okay.
And like, yes, there are going to be misses in your phone. Doesn't matter. Don't look at them. They didn't happen, right? Jack Nicklaus never remembered a bad shot. Only remembered his good shots. No, there's a great story that like Jack Nicklaus was like talking to a group of golfers at Georgia Tech University or Ohio State University, and he was talking about how he played some course and had never once three-putted on the course, and that's why he was so good. He goes, I never once three-putted. And one of the guys on the team said, well, Mr. Nicklaus, you three-putted 3 or 4 times just in the 1968 U.S. Open. And he said, no, I didn't. Because he like refused to remember anything he ever did that wasn't good, right? But like it's on record, but he was like, no, I didn't. Because he refuses to remember anything bad.
Shot myself. It was just forward. I felt it. It was forward. And typically if it's forward, I'll just shoot myself back. I'll fall back and I'll go flying back and the bar will go forward and that'll be that. But this case, for some reason, I remember feeling like straight up and like not knowing where to go. And I never really thought in that 2 seconds what happens after this. And I just assumed it just spew out forward like it always does. And then it didn't. And then it landed on me and it did not hurt. It didn't hurt anywhere but my ankles. Like it didn't hurt my chest, didn't hurt my legs, didn't hurt my knees, nothing. But I thought I'd tore my Achilles on my left side. And like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't think I can take my third attempt. And then I look back now, I'm like, well, of course you couldn't have taken your third attempt. You could barely walk off the platform. And so when I put my weight on my feet, like when I stood up, I was like, oh yeah, that's not good. And I immediately was thinking about Pan Ams, like right then. Because that was like my second chance to make worlds, and that was the goal again, So I stood up and I was like, this is not good. But I was walking, so I was like, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. The problem with it was both feet. Like both of my ankles were really, really sore. And I've never done something with both. So I've done one or the other where you just kind of like limp on the one side. Having both hurt was not fun. So I don't know. I was just like really sad. And then we stayed in Vegas for like 3 days because we planned that to stay there for a few days just to hang out. And that was like really, really horrible and miserable because I was very, very sad and I could like barely get around. I thought I was going to be able to squat that next week. No, not a chance. So that's how that all went down.
Everything changed, right? It was such a weird time because Mary was moving to Bloomington 3 days after that injury, 3 days after that injury. So she had like already decided to uproot. And that was definitely a blessing, right? Because we could like be together each day, training, talking, trying to get back on track, seeing the right providers, all that kind of stuff. Really in the short term, Pan Ams was right after that, and we didn't get to go to Pan Ams. And because we didn't get to go to Pan Ams, Mary got like 1 kilo off the team, basically, right? She got beat by 1 kilo and bumped her off the team. So she doesn't get to go to this World Championships coming up in December. She doesn't get to do the first OQR meet. And so, immediately, Pan Am's gone. We got to like revamp the training program entirely. Maybe bigger term, we had to think about what that calendar looks like when it comes to qualifying. Because initially, it was really clear it was going to be like go to Worlds, do, 2 or 3 meets or 3 meets next year, and then do the 2024 World Cup. I mean, just boom, 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 boom. Do all those. Put up the big total one time at one of those. That would keep her in that high enough on that OQR list to try and make the Olympic team. So, the change was we had to change everything. We were doing seated cleans, seated snatches, just to keep her engaged. We were trying to do, every bodybuilding exercise we could think of. We had like whole days devoted to biceps. So, I mean, some people would like that, but I think Mary was pretty bored. So we had to go back, change the training program entirely, look at our calendar entirely different, think about like what mattered differently, because I think the initial plan when we saw this was, okay, stay in shape when we really feel like we can. Let's just like pop off for that big total, and that could hold up. Because, we know Mary's got like big lifts in her, right? So it's like, all right, well, when we put that together, we're just going to put that together. It could be here and there, whatever. And so I think that's pushed back a little, because I don't want Mary to have to take super duper heavy lifts unless she has to take super duper heavy lifts, because the name of the game is make the team, not like show up and like show off all the time. The name of the game is like be on all those teams, then make the real team, like the Olympic team at the end. And so sometimes that doesn't mean that it's like, hey, every time you compete, Mary, let's put up the biggest number possible, because honestly, we only have so many giant numbers in us.
Like really anxious. I don't feel ready for today. It's just a local meet, but I don't feel ready.
A make. All belief, no doubts, okay? Let's go, Mary! That was hard.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't know if you remember, what did I tell you I needed at an American Open final? Yeah, you just did 262. So I said you need 260.
Okay.
You're right where you need to be. That was so big, so huge. I'm really proud of you. You should be really proud too.
How much for you? I'd say you're back, huh? 6 for 6.
Oh, you get $100.
Redemption! And that's redemption.
Okay. I don't know, it's just like in the top 5, it's like Egypt, Thailand, and Kazakhstan, and obviously China in like every weight class, in Ukraine. And I feel like all of those countries are like currently serving various sanctions or just finished. Like the Egyptian in my weight class, her sanction just ended last year. Like, what? I'm not convinced that these people are clean, that's for sure.
Do you think they should be allowed to compete?
Oh, fuck no. I don't think there's a way around it. I mean, sure, they're going to get drug tested and whatever, which is the danger in inflating your totals. Even if it is like a total they've done in training, they come in clean or prepared to get drug tested and they can't hit those numbers. So, like, I guess good for us with real totals, but also don't love it.
I hate going up here. That's why all of the Halloween stuff is still in various places in the garage. Because I'm waiting till Sean gets annoyed enough to do it.
Nice.
Oh, God. So, I think one side of these should not have any initials, yeah. So take one of those. Take some of these that don't have glitter on them because I don't want to clean that. Wait, let me try a different way. There you go.
Oh my God. Are you okay?
Yeah. Got it. Ah. Do you see why I don't like doing that now?
How many employees do you have?
So I have 2 consultants that aren't technically employees. And then I have 3 sales reps. And then I have 1, he's kind of like, I don't know what his title would be. He's like our warehouse guy / does everything, same as Cooper. He is the best human. And then his mom, who is retired, does our customer service. So it's very small.
They gave you is that a little certificate for being in the Olympics?
Yeah. But I'm not kidding, last week got another one.
What?
That's what this is. Yeah. But this one this one they gave you, like, it was like with our stuff in the village. Well, no. That's a lie. There's a third one somewhere because this one has my placement. But this one just came from USAW. And it's like the same thing, but smaller, for participation.
Huh.
I mean, I'll take as many as they want to give me. It takes the place of a medal. And it came with this, like, little pin.
Oh.
You know. I feel like obviously my days revolve around training, but then, like, secondly, they revolve around all of the animals. And I guess it also revolves around my business that I own, but, like, I feel like the order of operations is training things, animal things, business things. And, like, depending on the day and, like, how hard my training is, I can kind of, like, shuffle the order a little bit. But I take care of any animal that wanders by, as you've seen. My chickens, my cats, I guess now my dog, since I volunteer at the rescue, let's just call it my sanctuary, my animal sanctuary. I run that every day in between training. And then I also am the CEO of my company. So all of the things that are really unexciting that come with that. And then training. Me and Amy live on opposite corners of the country, which I feel like last quad was a lot more normal as far as like the elite go. Like not almost everybody, but probably majority of people were remote to their coaches. But I feel like for this quad, everyone has kind of like shuffled around and moved to be closer to their coach, which just wasn't an option for me. I mean, I just bought this house. I just spent all of my dollars building this gym. It works for us. Like, I don't have a problem navigating like what I should be doing, what I'm supposed to be doing. Am I doing this wrong? Like, me and Amy, both of us, one of our best qualities is ability to communicate. So it works really well. And like, yes, I would love to be with her in person more, but it's just not realistic. Like, I can't just move away from all of this and like lug all my shit across the country. So we make it work, and I don't regret it at all. Maybe I regret not being able to see her more than 2 or 3 times a year. It's a big bummer. But it is really hard to get out to the other side of the country. I mean, that's a whole day of travel, which is a whole day that I'm not able to train. But I mean, obviously it's working for us. So I can't complain about that.
I do remember walking out from my opener and just seeing everything. I saw no people in the stands, but I saw like a couple of media people. I saw the screen in the back. I remember the steps, the platform. So I feel like I took it all in that opening lift before everything started, and I was like holy shit, like I'm at the Olympics, like this is the coolest thing ever. So I had that moment, which is great. And then I snatched 83, and at that point, like, I was in a rhythm. So I think I went pretty automatic at that point. I was just a machine. So going into 86, I don't really remember that. Like, I was just like this. And same with 89. And even after the press out call, obviously I was upset that happened, but in my mind, like, I made it. And I remember going to the bathroom in between snatch and clean and jerk and like looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, yeah, like, you can do it. Like, you did that. Like, you're so good under pressure. Like, wow. So yeah, like, I think it was a big misconception that people thought the overturn like messed me up mentally. That was something that I wanted people to understand. Like, I didn't just crumble under a call that could happen to anyone, and it did happen to a lot of us. That wasn't something that happened. I'm much more strong-minded than that. So that was definitely something that I wish people got to understand. And then going to clean and jerks, like, warm-ups were great. My last warm-up attempt was 104. I had not put a belt on, which was, according to plan, and it was fine. Like, it was what a last warm-up attempt should look like. And I remember going out for 108, and then I had an out-of-body experience where I knew I was pulling the bar, but I was not in my body pulling the bar. And the one other time that I felt like that was my first cut to 49. It was just me in a competition in Turkey. It was a random like Roby qualifier, and I also got very sick. I'm pretty sure that was like one of the first COVID cases because it was right before 2020. And I remember being very sick while competing. So that was a super weird out-of-body experience. And it was the same exact feeling that I had at the Olympics, but I wasn't sick. I was strong enough. I had PR'd my clean and jerk the week before. Like, I knew I was strong enough to open with 108. I was confident enough to open with 108. And then I blacked out. So I think looking back, I now realize that all of my energy was towards snatches, because that was my biggest concern. Like, I trust my clean and jerks. I knew they would be there. And then once I finished snatches, like, I was done. My body was done. And that's the hardest thing to do with, because it feels like you don't have control over that. Like, I wish I could have been like, just try harder. Because obviously, like, I was trying harder. Like, I tried hard every single attempt. But by the time I got to my third attempt at 108, like, I knew I was not physically, emotionally, or mentally capable of lifting 108. So.
But there will be little time to rest and learn, as qualifying for Paris, only 18 months after Tokyo, is about to begin.
World is significant because it's the first Olympic qualifier. Also checks a box for one of the 5 meets that you have to go to in order to qualify for the Olympics. Not obligatory, but like does check a box. Also is the first opportunity to put up a total that would rank you on the Olympic qualifying ranking list. Not necessary to put up a big total, but would be really cool if you did. Like, if you are from America, this is semi-important because you could put up a big total. Jordan puts up a really nice total that ranks her in the top 5 in the Olympic ranking. That's not over for her because Haley could still beat her, right? Same vice versa. If Haley puts up a nice total and Jordan doesn't beat her, Haley doesn't get to like rest. You qualify for the Olympics today, or this time through, by being ranked top 10 is the easiest route. Ranked top 10 in the world, no duplicate countries and drugged countries removed. If you're on the top 10 of the Olympic qualifying ranking list and you're the first person in your country in that weight class, then like you go to the Olympics. You can hit that total today, or like this competition, or you can hit it in April of 2024. That's all you really got to do is put up a nice total and put you inside that ranking list, and then you go. For most countries in the world who don't have multiple people inside the same weight class who could rank inside the top 10 in the world, that just means put up a total that puts you in the top 10 and you're generally safe. In countries like China, or for the women in America, you have to worry about putting up a nice total and then it getting beat at the next competition. You could get to the very last competition at the end of this qualifying round, like for 2024, and have done everything right, and you're still not safe because somebody could beat you by a kilo in the last competition and pass you.
I used to be very in tune with that kind of stuff, keeping up with every single athlete. I do think it made me a little stressed. I don't necessarily seek it out a ton. I like checking out the start list and seeing around what to expect when it comes to competition, like who's the front runners, who is my biggest competition, whatever. But I don't necessarily like search on Instagram anymore to see what people are doing, because what I found is nothing really affects how I train and how I view the event and what I plan on doing. Because when it comes down to it at this level, like, we're not picking openers or anything based off of what other people are doing. We're doing it based on my performance. So I just need to focus on what I'm capable of, and all the other people are going to do, whether they're doing poorly or whether they're doing great, it's just going to distract me from my job, especially this competition.
Who do you think is your biggest competition?
Domestically, Olivia Reeves. I mean, she's already broken one of my American records, and she does not look like she's letting up anytime soon on her progression.
My name is Olivia Reeves. I am a sophomore fall semester at UTC. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And what else? So for a couple years, I was doing CrossFit Kids at my mom's gym, or CrossFit Teens or whatever, and then I'd come here afterwards. So doing a CrossFit workout, and then I'd come here. And then after 2016 Youth Nationals, I got second to Abby Raymond. And after that, I realized that I kind of had a shot to do something, that I should probably take it more serious than I was and stop doing CrossFit. I want to be my best, because I think I would be a lot happier with my total or my performance if it was the best that I could do. So whether that's being chased or chasing, I don't know, I don't think it would matter, but I just want to do the best that I could do. And from training in previous competitions, I have an idea of what that is, and I just want to prove that I can do that in competition.
For those who are not aware of why we are even filming you right now, what is the goal?
to make it to the Olympics and potentially medal at the Olympics, or see what I can do there.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The last 3 snatches of the American Open Finals here in Atlanta, Georgia. Mary Tyson Lappin, 108 for her first attempt. Nice, easy 108 opener for Mary Tyson Lappin. Good to see Mary back on the platform after the severe injury at the National Championships in July. Mary coming out for her second attempt, 112 kilos. That's going to be a no lift for Mary Tyson Lappin at 112. Tighten that back up on the bar. See her come back out and hit that.
Big punch overhead. Big punch overhead.
Here we go. Mary Tyson Lappin, third attempt, 112 kilos. Mary's best is 120. Looks like she's recovered pretty well from the injury. Let's see if she can hit this 112. Nice little step forward. That's going to be a good lift for Mary Tyson Lappin. Nice 112 day for her, 2 out of 3. We'll see her come back to close out the clean and jerk sessions, which will be the first time that she's had a clean and jerk on the national stage since she injured herself at the national championships. See how she does as she comes out and opens with the what is scheduled to be, I think, a 140 opener. Talking to Coach Will Fleming. All right, here we go. 140 kilos on the bar for Mary Tyson Lappin's opener. Her first lift since injuring herself in July.
Go, Mary. Come on.
No rust on that clean at all. Looked absolutely beautiful. Mary always jerks really well, and that is spot on as expected. 140. See what they put on the bar for her next attempt.
5, final change.
And it looks like they're going to go to 146 kilos for Mary Tyson Lappin's second attempt. Her best is 163, which is the American record. She comes up with that 146 quite easily. And again, another beautiful jerk for Mary Tyson Lappin. Looks like she is back in fine form, ladies and gentlemen. Always good to see.
It's got to be balanced, fast hitting, right?
So it looks like we're going to see 152 for her third attempt.
Go, Mary! Be balanced! Be balanced!
11 kilos off her best.
Balance, Mary! Fast hands!
But still a nice solid weight, and that's a good clean for her.
Let's go!
And another just spot on jerk. 3 for 3 today for Mary Tyson Lappin on her clean and jerks. 5 for 6 overall. What a beautiful day of lifting for this athlete. We'll see her after the Pan Ams, and the chase between her and Robles for a spot on the Paris team will just continue to get more and more interesting.
Just officially closed down the 2022 American Open.
Oh my gosh.
Last lift of the weekend.
That's true. I'm glad they started taking the platform down.
I know, they're like
before-
disassembling everything 10 feet away from you. Like, that's fine.
Bring it over.
The 2022 competition year might be over for the US, but internationally, it's only just begun. Lifters from all over the globe congregate in Bogota, Colombia. Many will call this their home for several weeks as they acclimate to the elevation. But for Jordan and Haley, they won't have that luxury.
Representing the United States of America, Jordan De La Cruz. From the United States of America, Haley Reichert. No lift for De La Cruz on her opening attempt. The jury has upheld the referee's decision, no lift for De La Cruz. No lift for De La Cruz.
On the way! Fight! Come on, big finish. Let's go, Haley. Come on.
And Haley won't be the only competitor to take the victory away from an Olympian.
It's very, very stressful.
Did you breathe?
No, I did not breathe. 32. For that gangster lift.
Yeah.
I was like, legitimately, we could bomb here. And then once she made the clean on 36 the first time, I knew she was gonna make the second.
Yeah. The dip was a little forward, you
Yeah,
can tell,
you
but
saw it?
just I was like, correct it.
It was like a
we'll come
simple
back.
adjustment, right?
Yeah.
She smacked 36 the second time.
Yeah.
But I knew we needed 2 shots at 36. So instead of opening, we were planning to open at 27.
Yeah.
So instead of opening at 27, we opened at 32, which is a really gutsy lift. She needed that to make Pan Ams.
Oh, really?
To continue to stay Olympic qualified.
Okay, so that's why you didn't go 137?
Oh, 100%. We're making 36 no matter what. Needed 36 to be able to stay Olympic qualified, stay Pan Ams, and stay on track for Olympics.
Okay.
So like, the 32 was she hasn't cleaned more than
130 since August, and we opened 2 kilos higher than that. It's crazy.
Thank you. Thank you. I got 3rd place in the clean and jerk. 5th overall, 4th on the Olympic qualification.
At the IWF World Championships 2022. Representing the United States of America, Maddie Rogers.
En representación de Estados Unidos.
For Maddie, the goal of this competition is simple: make lifts. But it doesn't always go as planned.
Silver, silver.
Silver, silver. 5 medals, buddy. You're the biggest medal winner on the team.
Just bombed.
Coaching my coach.
Yeah.
I want to following.
Yeah.
쌤, 저 핸드폰. Oh, your Instagram.
Instagram. More followers.
M-A-T-T.
You make everything 50-50. When you miss the first attempt, it's a half of the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we will go and say, oh, I'm doing the first. Everyone will be panicked. You miss the attempt and you are in panic. No, we have not been in panic.
I was in panic.
Yeah, when we lost the first, everyone was. Me, I was ready for harder. Please, I'm old man.
This whole session was a heart attack. Well, I missed 3 snatches.
Are you kidding me?
I missed my last warm-up twice, made my opener, then came back and missed another one.
What the hell? What's going on?
What the hell? Yeah, what the hell?
I don't know.
What the hell?
mean,
I was ready to kill her, but she was lucky because she did it outside.
Then I sat for like 10 minutes after my second. Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Silver medal, very good.
Total, we can't get below 250 again.
It's my first below 250 of the year.
Yeah. It's fine. Nothing was wrong. I think that she was prepared and in really good shape, but sometimes things change at Worlds and you may have to lower openers to secure medals or placings, and things can get changed around, and you know, sometimes days just aren't your best day. And I think that coming in here, our focus was really on a specific total, to like kick the Olympic quad off with a specific total, and that plan very quickly changed because we then had to change to fight for a medal, and that became the number one priority, to get the medals for, you know, for Maddie to, you know, she just made history, and that was important, but it was important to get the medals for Team USA, and that just kind of shifted. And once we saw that shift was happening and that we were gonna have to fight for medals, then the plan that we had kind of just went out the window, and we just, you know, did what we had to do to survive.
From my perspective, we had to drop stuff because I was just fucking it up a little bit. Because I think training couldn't have gone better leading up. Couldn't have been in better shape. I felt fine. I felt great all week. I didn't even feel tired when it was like time to taper. I was like, and I totally thought we were gonna go 13:45 today, and then I just didn't.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
But silver is silver, and even if I had done 13:45, it still probably would have been silver. So yeah. I haven't had a bad meet since last year's Pan Ams.
Yeah, so. And this isn't even a bad meet.
No.
Here's the thing. Yes, you can be disappointed and you can think it's a bad meet because we know what you're capable of and we know what she's capable of right now. And so it's disappointing when you show up and you don't get that total that you're capable of. But that being said, she had to fight, and the lifts that she made, she had to make those to get silver. If she didn't make those lifts, she would have gotten like 5th or 6th.
It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse. So the fact of the matter is, for what she fought her ass off today, and that really, at the end of the day, is all that matters. And we have so many more opportunities to get bigger totals. And that's all I have to say about that. Yeah. So yay, silver medal. And now I think she may be the only female American to only American ever to medal 5 consecutive years at World Championships.
I think so. I hope so. I'm gonna do the research.
We're gonna do the research. But you know what else? Let me tell you this. This is 2 years in a row as a world silver medalist.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
I'd rather be a bridesmaid than only being invited to the wedding.
That's fair.
What if you were only invited to the wedding and never even got chosen as a bridesmaid?
That would be if I only made my first snatch.
Uh-oh, ruh-roh.
All right.
Oh, roasted.
Everything's fine.
As Snoop Dogg says, sometimes it be like that.
It do be like that.
It do be like that. It do be like that sometimes. That's not a very good Snoop Dogg impression.
No,
I would be better if I was saying it in a Britney Spears.
No, let's just leave it at that.
The fate of these athletes don't only rest in their own hands. They must watch as weights will be lifted, records broken, and for some to make their presence known.
Danielle Gunnan, 98 kilo, third attempt. A beautiful lift for Danielle Gunnan at 98 kilos. You can see the excitement as she jumps, pounds her chest, comes off the stage, gives the coach a big hug. That is a great lift for Danielle. 98 kilo American record as she chases Taylor Wilkins and should qualify for the Pan American team with that lift.
I'm going to leave my full-time job, and weightlifting's going to be my job, and I'm going to take this more serious, and I think that I have a shot.
And for others to solidify a legacy they've already made. And all of these athletes will sacrifice and commit all for a chance to be one of the 3 who can take